Hello everyone out there on Twitch. Maybe, but probably not out there on YouTube, since I don't know that I would upload this video. But if I do, welcome YouTube as well. It's a Piss Dude #1 fan. Nice username. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have more info about a good Windows SSH setup, but there's probably actually a lot of different options you could do. I mean, PuTTY does work really well. And it is very customizable. I think a lot of people just use PuTTY, to be honest. I know you can set the fonts, you can set the colors. I don't know how good the setup is, but PuTTY is self-contained. It's an SSH client that provides the console stuff there for you. So it's just like one program you would use to do your online stuff. It kind of sucks if you have a configuration you really like for your local console and it doesn't quite match up to what you can do in PuTTY, or even if it does, you kind of have to maintain them if you tweak something. But yeah, there's probably all sorts of stuff you can do. Like, you can have native Windows builds of a lot of programs, like just SSH for instance, and if you can run that inside of your console. I don't know what your console is providing, a DOS shell, I assume, but there are got to be native builds of SSH, like seriously just the executable, like OpenSSH or SSH.exe, that are built to Windows that can accept Windows like styles options. Right, Windows build of OpenSSH, that should exist. I recall when I was doing like Windows Emacs stuff many years ago, I had something, was it through MinGW though? But they were Windows native builds that worked independently in the DOS shell of like various programs. And I'm pretty sure OpenSSH would be one, although I guess there's certificates and stuff, I don't know. I'm sure it can be set up though. No, they're not lightly. This is still the experimental branch. I guess I started this character because the one on CKO was kind of not updated. And I guess that got fixed, but this character is still ongoing, so this is running on my own like instance, just a build of that branch. The throwing changes are already in trunk, but the vampires themselves are not. Throwing changes. That gives a summary of what all the changes are, written by the man E-Bearing himself. So that should be comprehensive. That's a Checkers PR. He makes a lot of like kind of very quick and dirty PRs that are just like, here's an idea, without necessarily really, you know, thinking through what is the, you know, how it's kind of a big problem, and you don't really solve it with a simple hack necessarily, and that's kind of just a simple hack. It depends on what problem you're going to address. I don't think we would do a layer roulette. I think, I mean, I think there's interest in changing up the branches. I would like to look at doing a re-implementation of like Swamp that changed the branch, and sort of more ambitious stuff of making the branches really feel distinctive by having some distinct mechanical aspects going on to them. But it was sort of an idea that that for a new branch that Mikey started. He's sort of since disappeared, but he did make a write-up for it. I would like the branches to have like really distinctive mechanical theme, instead of just like, here's a themed set of monsters that are overall kind of similar to monsters that you already fought. They're just stronger. Maybe they've got a few weird attacks thrown in, and it's just sort of like changing the scenery almost. You know, some branches like Shoals, I mean, the layouts in those branches, except for maybe Snake, all to some extent try to really shift up the terrain a bit at least, but I would just like it if the branches really felt like a distinct experience and not just like, oh yeah, so you're fighting stronger stuff, but now it's themed about snakes, or now it's themed about spiders, now it's themed about fish. You know what I mean? Thank you for the follow, Retro Tilt. What's up, Atomic Tangerine and is that Razzle Storm or Razisa? I guess that's Razzle Storm. Oh hey, what's up, Excites? I remember you from Discord. Yeah, Lair has a good layout. Well, it has good layout ruining, which makes some fun terrain. And there's all sorts of smallish stuff you can do to make levels interesting, and you can combine them to make really fun stuff. I was thinking more mechanistic stuff like some unique kind of notion of a timer, or the way, you know, small examples of this are like how Tomb has one-way hatches, or there's actually not too many examples, or the orb effect in Zot, or stuff like that, where there's really something. Thank you for the follow, Razzlestorm. Let's disagree, maybe 20 cent. Well, I mean, that's a totally different kind of route. I don't think anyone's really ready to toss out the concept of branches and the supposed non-linearity of crawl, even though crawl is actually pretty linear if you're playing it in a smart way. You know, there's a branch order that makes the most sense, and most people stick to it rather closely. But yeah, there are changes. There are some like ambitious overarching plans that I sort of would love to see sort of realized. Sometimes you can solve a problem with a relatively quick kind of hack. I don't think the layer branch situations and what they do and what they mean is necessarily one of those. I mean, what's important to us, cool guys, that if you're playing the game like to try to win it, that there's variety there, and that you're not just making a choice that, oh, I'm doing a challenge, so I'm gonna do orc first, stuff like that. You know, even if we make it so that actual branch order variation is a thing, there will still be there'll always be like further challenges you could do, like, oh yeah, well I'm gonna go this way instead. That's like, you know, slime first or whatever the heck. So there's always, by making like variety in how you would go to the branches, it doesn't mean that people won't be able to have. It doesn't mean that there won't be like a sort of a spectrum, if you will, of like silly things you could do. Like going to orc first on a lot of characters is like, sure, it's slightly more dangerous, but like if you're a berserker, for instance, you know, hey, you're really strong anyway. It's hard to be more specific without talking about the specific kind of change you would actually make, but what I'm saying is that there will always be wacky things you can do, and it wouldn't be about like outright somehow preventing it. You know, things like the lock on vaults to some extent are trying to do that to balance the game, but I don't think there's any desire to like lock out too much more of the dungeon. Most of the ideas are not about like restricting you from going to even crazier areas. They're just about, hey, how could we make doing branches more exciting, or maybe make there be some more path. Like one of the ideas was, hey, how about instead of Tomb being an extended branch, maybe make it a viable third rune, which is not something we're actually pursuing, but it's a totally reasonable idea you could try in that vein. You know, you would have to nerf a lot of the stuff in Tomb, but hey, maybe it would actually be more fun. So there's all sorts of notions out there. You just gotta actually find the one that you think you can really implement and do it in a right way. And yeah, sometimes something like the roulette can be, if it works, it can be faster, and it can be, even if it's a shorter term thing, it can be good. But I don't think the roulette's going to be one of them. That would be my hunch. Well, after all that speech, maybe we should do something about Fanar. I don't think I have any RC at all. Oh, that's right. I could go bloodless. I could go bloodless and get the at the RC++. Yeah, I do agree that at least one floor would be good, reducing the layer branch sizes. One floor would be pretty conservative and pretty good to do. There is still kind of too much XP in this game. I guess, you know, honestly, going bloodless wouldn't be the worst thing. I have to work off that. Of course, I lose a lot of HP. I don't have to kill this guy. What have I even done? I haven't even gone to layer yet. Layer is on D10. I guess, yeah, it's right there. So I don't have to kill Fanar. On the other hand, okay, he does have a ring of, well, again, like, do I need RC if I can go? I guess I don't, yeah, I don't necessarily want to. It would actually be handy to have the RC ring. He's not really safe to berserk. Unfortunately, my weapon is still garbage. Yeah, I mean, XP was reduced after the depths change. It always could be. There's a risk of making the game sort of too hard in a way that's like relatively inaccessible for too many people. The idea of like difficulty settings, proper difficulty settings, has certainly been something that comes up. Part of the problem is that Crawl does... Retro Tilt with the subscription from Twitch Prime, thank you so much. Retro Tilt, I appreciate that support. Everybody, if I can do this in chatty. Oh man. Oh, no problem. I'm not sure who you are in the Discord. Let me see. Oh man, I can't look it up. Well, for one, enjoy your own Cursed Skull emo. But I was gonna say, is it Cursed Style? I don't know why Chetty is so bad at looking up the TTV. Oh, do I not have that enabled? One sec, sorry. Now I have to see what the heck's going on. Yup. Okay. Oh, here we go. Everyone, it's CS style for Cursed. Everyone give Retro Tilt the CS style. You can all use that. That's a Frankerface T emote. So anyone can type that one. Courtesy of Bald Nate. The official thank you for your subscription emote. Yeah, right on. Let me, oh yeah, so I was gonna kill Fanar here with, yeah, there's a short sword of draining. That's about the only other options I have. I have a cross drain skill. Short sword of drain versus a long blade. It's kind of close. I honestly forget, what is the base damage of a long blade? Is it like 8? There has not rogue shenanigans. Although there was some changes. Can of Worms' tiles apparently got updated. I didn't have those changes, so I did rebuild it, and now we have those tiles. But no other gameplay changes. I'm not sure if any are planned. Maybe if E-Bearing shows up, he could announce if he is planning anything. Base 9, yeah. It's going to be hard for draining to compete with 3 base damage anyway. So I guess what we're probably going to do... Alright. Oh. Do it. Do it, Ogre. Alright. Yeah, if you can get your brother... Ogre's a pretty good summon, and If Fanar doesn't do anything about that, nice. And we got the Ring of Ice, so that's handy. I didn't even have to mess around with going bloodless. Ooh, general store. Ah. I've got the perfect counter to you, my friend. No, I can't eat anything. So it's in this general store. Sadly, not the most useful general store. Oh. Oh yeah, huh? Is that a scimitar? Yeah, oh no, we should totally get that. Wasn't even paying attention, dude. Why did I not put that on? That's definitely better than the longsword. That's dumb that I missed that. I wonder how I missed that. I probably just forgot or something. Again, that's Bearing's fault. His game is broken. How do I know? It's because I got banished by a Rolka. That shouldn't happen to me. I'm a dev. Clearly his game is broken. So I usually stop... Oh, actually I cannot wield that. Yeah, I can't wield that. That's a good... I think because it was grayed out. Yeah, I can't even search for it, actually. Actually, I can search for it by hitting this. Or by this. Oh, I'd use listen duplicates equal. There it is, yeah. So I mentally did not even note it, which I should have. But yeah, there was a scimitar sitting on D6. I could have been using that forever ago. And that's like a strictly better weapon than the longsword. Although, if you factor in delay, what is the min delay on this? And min delay on longs. Well, I guess I guess I dropped it. Anyway, it's our best option. We'll just go with that. Porcupine, cut down a fungus to get to me. He means business. The hell are you doing in my lair? Hey, javelins. Nice. D6, man, D6 had all the goods. Apparently I did not. Look at that. Hey, Disillusioned, how's it going? Got the old Kurare darts. Got the old teleport scrolls. Oh no. Nice try, Mr. Froggy. You're not stronger than Berserk, Froggy. Oh no! Holy word. Yeah, we'll be dropping that one. Can no longer call in reinforcements. Damn. It's harsh, Trog. Trog, I want that weapon. Give me a weapon. I don't want to hear you talk about piety. I want the weapon now. Oh, we got lair. We also got frogged. Rip. So we'll close this door and not deal with those yahoos, those fish yahoos right now. Oh, now I can call in reinforcements. Why don't you just change your mind? Honestly, I can probably walk around with the RC ring on, but it doesn't matter. Oh, hey. It's Castlevania. One of Ice Blast. What would be really good? Lamp of Fire, Lightning Rod is actually really, really good. Maybe we'll hold out for that. Your rage grows as you see the frog. You gaze upon the frog and you are filled with rage. How dare you, frog, show your head around here again? Oh, they pincer attacked me. Oh, damn. Oh, no. I get pincered. I am pincered as F. They done spooked me. What do I have here? I do have a Wand of Dig, but I don't really need it because I already got a kill hole. That's a lot of elephants, though. At least it's not a Dream Sheep. Yeah, if one of those shows up, I might have to use that Dig Wand. I can't be put to no sleep. Well, I mean, I can just like hit this guy. Part of the problem is I'm going to be slow for a while, and I'm not, even after I get this, I don't necessarily want to just like try to tap through these guys. The slow's going to come down. Well, maybe I'm stronger than I think. Oh yeah, I can berserk. Time to die, elephants. I mean, it is, but I am a berserker. I am a berserker. Why not unarmed? I mean, they, you know, I mean, unarmed is like the worst start. That's one reason why. I'm not even sure. Unarmed combat vampire is probably kind of a fun idea. Yeah, you see one, so I wouldn't fault anybody for doing it, but the Bane answer is always just like it's the worst start. I mean, I was fighter. Fighter's pretty strong. Vampires are kind of rough on first very earliest levels, like especially pre-XL3 before they get bat form. On the other hand, fighter kind of makes up for it, so you know, it would be okay. But yeah, it's not a... I would like to, if I was going unarmed, I kind of like using forms, honestly. Because unarmed is just sort of bad for such a long time. What do we got? Aha. Got the RC anyways, without the RF minus. But yeah, that's a fun build that you can kind of do with this branch now. Because you can, since you can be alive, you can transmute. So that's something you can do. You could do it before, and people were doing that. It's just you had to really manage your blood. You know, drinking. You know, your blood, your satiation requirements were big, but now you don't have that management to worry about. So it's easier to do. Would have been a decent thing to test with. Again, it's E-Bearing's fault. He shouted Trog at the top of his lungs when we were looking for god choices. Of course, by then, the weapon had already been set on long blades, so... But... It's fun to blame E-Bearing for various things, so... Let's go with my first story. It was his choice of Trog that prevented you from seeing the novel, interesting... game-breaking, genre-defining vampire fighter unarmed. He wanted conventional Trog. Clearly, Rue was optimal. I don't know about that. Seven-headed Hydra. We do have some of these fancy throwing items and such with my 0 throwing, so that's not... Really, I'm going to have to train throwing at some point. In fact, you know what? Why don't we actually just, like, get a few levels of it right now while we're at it? Because I do actually want to try, even though it wouldn't really be ideal to train up throwing. Yeah, boomerangs. Tomahawks are replaced with boomerangs, and they always return. They have an innate returning. Javelins have innate penetration. So I could try to ice blast this thing down into oblivion. I do have quite a few tiles. I mean, he's only 1 tile from Edge of Los. And I was successful. Something unseen opens the door. Oh no. On the other hand, +3 Scimitar of Alek. Urug. That's a nice scimitar you have there. I do not have resistance, so I'm not too fond of the idea of you hitting me with it. On the other hand, Urug, have you heard of my friend Wanda Polymorph? Let's go. Oh no. Oh boy. Urug the fire crab. Well, that is a thing that exists due to my actions. I don't have any RF. Well, what I can do is wield Staff of Fire and just, like, again, gonna go to town. Oh, I like this. Goodbye, Urug. I blew up a crab. Talk on throwing changes. This is how I beat E-Bearing's throwing change branch with a world record time. My name is Urug the Fire Crab. First I found a dev playing badly, and I induced him to polymorph me. He fell for it right away. Devs are very dumb. You see the tech. You saw the play. Staff of Fire for the RF. Hit him with the wand. Optimal play. Every single turn a masterpiece. I would quit if I had anything less than perfection. I would quit the game. I couldn't stand for a non-optimal turn. Now we have a Scimitar of Alek. Which, very good job, me, renaming my Scroll of Coliant Sif. That's not what I wanted to do. Here we go, baby. Well, to whoever it was who wanted my Scimitar to be enchanted. Now, I could enchant this one further, of course, but it's a really good weapon right now. Like, that's really outstanding and lucky. I'm gonna kind of hold out for, like, hey, want a poly? We got the nest. It will be good for a long time, depending on what Trog gifts. It's certainly possible for Trog to give something better, but it's going to be fairly tough for him to top that. If he decides to drop a Demon Blade in my lap, for instance. But it is a quite top tier weapon. I'm not going to enchant it up further though. I'm just going to hold on to my scrolls because Trog will give me an endgame weapon. He might give me a two-handed sword, for instance. Like, he might give me a triple sword, and that'd be fun, right? So I'd rather save the scrolls and do that because, again, I'm really strong. If this were a character trying to eke out survival, I mean, I would have a Scimitar of Alek. That's pretty good, but I would probably go ahead and enchant up, you know, especially a non-Trog character. If I was worried at all about dying in any way.